All right, welcome back to Club Junkies. What's in the bag for men's league night, week 8? I know it's crazy. I can't believe we're week 8. We do 20 weeks. We're almost halfway through the year. That's nuts. But last week, shot a 41. It was tough though. It was extremely windy. It was just hard to hit greens. As much as you tried to play the wind and play the ball out to the right and let the wind bring it back or whatever, it just seems like you never took that into account enough, and it was just really hard hitting the green. Hitting into the wind, it was easily 2 to 3 clubs. I mean, it was a crazy windy night last week. As much as I was frustrated with it at the end of the round, which I did miss like a 4-footer to shoot 40, that was kind of frustrating. But overall, I didn't play that bad considering the wind. Hit some really good shots, and honestly, like I said, I hit some good iron shots and stuff. I just didn't account for the wind, and I was just off the green right and left most of the day. Distance wise, I was actually pretty good. I was clubbing up enough to get it there. So irons were pretty solid. I thought the wedges overall were pretty good because I was chipping from just about everywhere. I don't think I had too many greens in regulation. The putter was okay. It kind of cooled off after the last 2 weeks where it was really hot, but we had an okay round. Like I said, it was just tough conditions out there, so we got through it. So this is a new week. Got a new week. I was going to bring some irons that I played previously that I'm actually reshafting that are drying right there, but then I'm going to skip it. I'm going to go a little different this round. I'm going to go a little bit more on the forgiving side of things. So we'll start at the top, as we always do, and driver. Gonna go back to a driver that I hit pretty well a few weeks ago, and that is the Cobra Dark Speed X. I had this with the VF, the Graphite Design VF in there, and hit it really well a few weeks ago. This week we're going to go UST Link M40X, the TSPX one. This is a Link Blue, so mid-launch, low spin, and this is a great shaft. I like it. I like it, and it should match up pretty well with this head. This head's pretty forgiving, ton of ball speed, and it seems to hold the ball speed on miss hits pretty well. So the only thing I wish the sound and feel on the miss hits was a little better, but overall just a really good driver. I've hit it pretty well. Let's see how it goes this week, but pretty darn forgiving and has been pretty solid. So hopefully that'll go well. And then 3-wood, we're going to go something a little different. We're going to go to the Mizuno STZ 230. Now, I played the Max a few weeks ago, and the Max I just did not hit well. Like, I kept hitting it kind of low heel. I know that is not the club's fault. It's totally me. But we're going to go STZ, just a slightly less forgiving model, but I mean, still a pretty easy to hit fairway, deep face. I play this off the tee most of the time. And I've hit it, well, I can't get the face up here, but I've hit it a decent amount over the year that I've had it, and have some good strikes. So this one here has got a Project X Hazardous Green, Smoke Green RDX, the 75-gram version. So this will be kind of a little lower launching, lower spinning. It's a little stout for me, but it should play okay. And again, I'm going to hit this mostly off the tee. So this should be pretty solid here. And honestly, with 3-wood on the front 9, which we're playing, you don't hit a ton of 3-woods, depending on the wind. If it's windy, you might hit them off the tee on 1, 2, maybe 3, but that'd be about it. Now, 7-wood, I'm going to go back to the old PXG. I'm going to go to the Black Ops 7-wood. This one here is a 21-degree head, set 1 degree down and flat, so it's playing 20 and flat. And this has got my old trusty 7-wood when I first put a 7-wood in there, the Nippon Regio Formula MB Plus. This is the mid-launch shaft that they make in a 75X. This is just a heavy shaft. I think like uncut, it's like almost 80 grams. Had this in the original PXG 7-wood that I had a couple years ago. Put it in this head, and the thing I like about this is that on the front 9, I could hit 7-wood on 2 and 3, and maybe even 4 depending on the wind. And this just has a little deeper face, so hitting it off the tee is a little bit easier. It's super forgiving, goes high, goes straight. And these shafts are probably some of the smoothest you'll ever hit if you can find them and get your hands on them. But we're going with the Black Ops 7-wood. And then we move into irons. And the first iron is going to be utility iron. And I'm going to actually pull a piece out of my Titleist set. And we're going to go T200 4-iron. So this is going to be the T200 4-iron with the steel fiber I110s in there in stiff. And this is just one of those clubs that I hit really well. And this could be probably on the tee on 4. Depending on wind, again, but delay up there. And I've just hit this really well. This is just a solid 4-iron. I know it's not technically a utility, but they do make a utility build version of this. This is just the stock one out of my set, but I'm going to go with that in the full iron, just because I've hit it well. And then for irons, we're going to go step into the more forgiving side, and we're going the Ping I-230s. So these are the I-230. We're going 5 through pitching wedge, and these are shafted up with Fujikura's Axiom 105s in stiff. These things here, when I first built this set, it took me a little bit to get along with it, but I've taken it out a couple times this year, and I'll tell you what, I've hit it really, really, really well since then, and started hitting them better and better. So yeah, this is just a set of iron headsets forgiving. They look pretty good. They look good. They kind of look like a player's iron when you set them down. Pack a ton of forgiveness. They're kind of at mid ball flight, and then you throw in there the Axiom shafts, which are kind of mid ball flight, a little bit of spin, and they don't really, they take a little bit to turn over, so they kind of fight a little bit of the left, which is kind of what I need. But I'm running 5 through pitching wedge with these. And they're pretty solid. They actually feel pretty good on center strikes. Miss hits, they get a little clicky. Now, for wedges, of course, the tried and true, which you're always going to see, the SM1050 that goes in every week, and this is shafted up with that UST Dart 105 wedge shaft. And this thing it goes in when I don't have a full set of 3 wedges. This just goes in the bag, and it's going back in again. It's actually been really good. I've hit it pretty darn solid over this year since I built it up. That's a 5008 F grind, so it's going in the bag for this because wedge-wise, we're going to go, after seeing the U.S. Open, seeing Tiger out there playing, we're going TaylorMade MG4 TW 56 for the sand wedge. So this is the Tiger Woods grind, 12 degrees of bounce, got a lot of different angles. They've got a pre-worn leading edge, a little bit of trailing edge relief. This wedge actually plays really well. It's pretty versatile. You can kind of press it forward, play a little back in your stance, nip it off type lies. You can basically use the full bounce of it when you open the face and play it out of the traps. These new mill grind 4 faces spin really well, and honestly, the mill grind 4s feel better, much better than the mill grind 3s. So these just have the stock shaft, the Tour Issue 115s, the Dynamic Gold Tour Issue 115s. But I like these wedges. The only thing I wish the toes were a little more rounded. I like the MG3, but performance-wise, this is a really good sand wedge. And then throwing in the matching 60. So this is the MG4 Tiger Woods 60. I actually like this better than the 56. I think this one the same thing. It's got that really heavy pre-worn leading edge. I love that it just kind of glides across the turf, whether it's on a tight lie, whether it's in the rough. This thing just gets through the turf quickly and smoothly, and you can kind of, get that leading edge under the ball no matter how tight the lie is. So again, with this one, you're going to, open it up. The leading edge is going to come off the ground a little bit, but again, I'm not, that my short game isn't quite that skilled, but it's an 11-degree bounce, 60, a couple different facets on it, and it's just a really versatile wedge that plays really well. Just like the 56, grooves on it. It's got that raw face. It spins the ball well, and just a solid 60. So I've actually had more success with the 60 since I've had these than the 56. But we're gonna go both. Pay a little homage to Tiger, and hope he does well at the U.S. Open. And then for putter, since the putter has kind of cooled off a little bit, we're going to go back. We're going to go to the Lab Mez 1 Max. I was debating between this and the DF3. I'm going to do the Mez 1 Max. The last time I putted with it, I putted really well with this. I kind of like how it frames the ball just a little bit better than the DF3 with the 2 fangs and all that. I think I'd line it up just a little bit better. Both of them, I get the ball started on the right line, but this one I think I aim it just a little bit better than the DF3. I think it's just the straight lines on it. And this has of course, the Acra golf shaft, the graphite shaft that is more by Lab, and this has got the Press 2 1.5 degree grip on it. So, and it's of course my favorite cappuccino color, which I love, the brown. So that is, going to be the putter for Men's League Night Week 8. And then, ball wise, I think I'm going to go back to the alignment, the Pro V1 alignment. I want to get the putting back on track. I think the lining of the putts has been really good for me lately, so going to go back to that and play that. So that is what's in the bag, Men's League Week 8. Let's see how these clubs do. I'll report back next week with how everything performed.